In order to do a chevron on an area, it's pretty easy. In here, I just have a circle. It's a circle area, and what I'm going to do is just turn it on 3D so we can really see the stitching on it. So there are two different ways that I think we could do the chevrons. This area is actually pretty big. It's about 4 inches by 4 inches. So what I'm going to do is right-click on the area. When you right-click on the area, it is selecting it, and now I can go and change the stitch settings. To change the stitch settings, I will hit the Property Settings button at the top, left-click, and once I left-click, I will then change it to a complex fill. You can already see this design has kind of a chevron type design, but when I change it to a complex fill, right now, let's go ahead and hit apply there, it's just going to be a standard complex fill. No extra designs or patterns. But when I go to the complex tab at the top, I can then go down to select pattern. So first I choose complex, and then I go to the complex tab. With the complex tab, I will go to select pattern, and here I am going to scroll down, and I think the pattern that would be best fitted for this is Zig 1. I will left click on that and press OK. Now I will hit apply so you can see the pattern, and now this pattern is going in a 30-degree direction. You can see here the direction right there. There's the setting for it, and then here this is my little wand, and really we need that wand to go straight up and down, which is a 90-degree. So I will highlight the direction here. So 0 is going across. That would have like side chevrons. If I want it to go, the chevrons to kind of go vertical, I need it to be 90. So I'll type in 90 here, then hit apply, and now you can see that the angle is going straight up and down, and there's those little chevrons. I can press OK. With this, the chevrons are only one size. You can't really change it too much. But there is a way to go in and make your own chevron and actually change the settings of those. So with that, I need to make a chevron and save it into my stamp patterns. I'm just going to go to a new design, file, and new, and I am going to utilize my grid here to create a chevron. I will basically create a chevron line just like this, and utilize the grid and utilize this point, and this point. Since I want it to be perfect, I want to change my preferences. So I will go to View and View Preferences, and I am going to go to the Canvas Setting tab and change this option, Snap to Grid, and turn it on. Now I want to turn it off later, but Snap to Grid is helpful right now, so I'll press OK. And after I have that on, I will then go to the right-hand side to Create Freehand Line. I will left-click on this. It doesn't matter my settings here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to left-click on the grid at this intersection point, and even if I come over here, you'll see it'll snap to the closest intersection point. And where I move it, so then I'm going to come to the top here, left-click, and then come down here and left-click. Once I'm finished, I hit Enter on my keyboard. I will then hit Escape to get out of the tool. It is selected. It does have a blue and white flashing line on it. So then I will go up to Accessories, Stamp Pattern, and Save Stamp Pattern. I'll left click on that, and now I want to save it into my directory. I do have one here that's already named Chevron. I'll left click on that, or I can just give it a file name. Press OK. For me, it's going to ask me if I want to replace it. Usually, if you give it a new name or a different name than anything else, it will just go ahead and save it in there. I'll just go ahead and say yes, and now I'm back to my main screen. I will close this out. I no longer need it because I have saved it into my directory. Let's go ahead and with this right click selected, I will go to my stitch settings, and I am going to, instead of using, if I go to complex fill and select pattern, I will go back to the basic tab, the tab that I was originally in, checkmark Use Stamp Pattern. In here, the stamp pattern layout, you can scroll through here and you have all these different stamp patterns you can work with. The one that we saved is called Chevron, so I will left click to select it. If I want to change the way this chevron looks, the layout of it, anything like that, I can certainly do that. This is my basic pattern. I'll just hit OK and then apply that. With that, we now have chevrons that are 7 millimeters tall. And I'll show you, if we go back where it says Use Stamp Pattern, I'll click Edit. I can tell that because here's the size of the chevron. If I want to change the size, I can change it up here, or I can come down to this box with the 2 red nodes. I can extend that chevron. I can have it overlap. I can, change it vertically. I can actually move the chevrons apart from each other. And you can see here, these are all of our settings. With my chevrons at 9.8 wide, maybe I want my column space to be 9.8. So I'll type in 9.8, and you can see it move apart just a little bit, so it's not overlapping, but it's just touching. I'll go ahead and hit OK, and then apply, and now you can see a different type of chevron. So you can certainly, definitely have more opportunity and more changes with this one than you do the other one. Now, in the chevron right here, it is using this pattern. I'll go back to Select Pattern, and here I will just choose the one set, OK, and apply, and you might see these little kind of sawtooth areas go away. So now we have just a regular pattern in there. So we'll go ahead and go back to basic. The other thing that I do see some lines in here. I will go to Edit. I will change the maximum stitch length. Because X is 9.8, maybe I'll change this to 10. I'll go ahead and hit OK and apply. And we'll go ahead and hit OK here. Right click off to the side, deselect, and that's how I would make my chevron. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call.